You know, in the super fast-paced world of AI, some news just hits different. And Meta's recent move to buy a company called Manus AI, well, that's not just another headline, it's a huge signal that a massive shift is underway. We're talking about a potential game-changer here, something that could completely reshape our digital lives.
Okay, but before we jump way into the future, let's bring it back to right now. Have you ever asked Siri a kind of complex question and all you get back is a list of web links? Or, tried to have a real conversation with Alexa and it just totally misses the point? Yeah, you are definitely not alone in that frustration, and there's a really good reason why we all feel that way.
This right here, it just perfectly captures that disconnect. On one side, you've got what we want, the dream AI, the one that gets us, that anticipates our needs. And on the other side, well, you've got the reality of what we have now, which is basically a fancy command follower. And that gap, right there, has become the new front line in the race for AI dominance.
So what's the solution to this problem? Well, it's something a lot of folks are calling the autonomous agent revolution. And look, this isn't just a small upgrade. We're talking about a completely new way of thinking about artificial intelligence. And companies like Manus AI, they've been right at the forefront of it all.
All right, so what exactly is an autonomous AI agent? The best way to think about it is less like a pre-programmed robot and a lot more like a digital apprentice. These are self-learning systems, right? They're built to be adaptable, to understand context, and this is the key part, to actually get better with every single interaction. The whole goal is to create tech that feels less like a tool you use and more like a partner you work with.
And this is how Manus AI apparently cracked the code. What they did was combine these super advanced language models with a really powerful technique called reinforcement learning. So what's that? Well, in simple terms, it lets the AI learn through trial and error, kind of like how we learn, right? It gets a little digital reward for doing things right, and it learns from its mistakes. The end result? You get an AI that doesn't just follow a script, it can actually reason and adapt. It's what finally starts to close that gap between what we want and what we've had.
Which brings us right to the main event, Meta buying them. Look, when a giant like Meta snaps up a pioneer like Manus AI, it's so much more than just a business deal. It's them making a clear statement to the entire industry. They're basically saying, the race for the next generation of AI is on, and we plan on winning it.
And yeah, this move absolutely sent shockwaves through the tech world. So why the huge reaction? It's because everyone in the industry understands just how high the stakes are. The company that actually perfects this whole autonomous AI agent thing, they could literally define the next era of technology. And with this one move, you could argue Meta just jumped right to the front of the line.
So, what's their playbook? Well, it seems to be a pretty clear four-step strategy. Step 1, buy the groundbreaking tech. Check, they did that with Manus AI. Step 2, and this might be the most important part, is integration. Think about it. They're going to plug this tech into their massive platforms, right? Facebook, Instagram. That gives them an insane amount of data to train and improve the AI. That leads right into step 3, creating these super intelligent experiences for billions of users. And the endgame? Step 4, use that incredible scale to become the leader in this new era of AI.
Okay, so what does this actually look like for you and me? Because this isn't some abstract tech living in a lab. It's heading straight for the apps we use every single day. So imagine an assistant on Instagram that doesn't just see that you like photos of Italy, but it actually helps you plan the whole trip. Flights, hotels, even the best local restaurants. Or picture this, a guide in the metaverse who isn't just reading a script, but can have a real spontaneous conversation with you about whatever you're seeing. That's the kind of potential we're talking about.
This all brings us to probably the most important question. What does any of this mean for you? Because this isn't some revolution happening only in Silicon Valley. Oh no. This is on a path to completely reshape our daily lives and totally transform entire industries. I mean, the potential impact is just massive, and it's going to be everywhere. We're looking at a future where customer service bots can actually solve your problem, not just transfer your call. Think about personalized education, where an AI tutor can adapt in real time to how a student learns best. From healthcare to entertainment, you name it, the applications are just endless. This kind of tech is set to become a basic building block for so many different sectors.
So here's the fundamental shift, and you got to understand this is a big one. For decades, we have had to learn how to speak the language of computers, right? We had to learn their rules. When we're finally entering an era where technology is learning to speak our language. This is about so much more than just a better chatbot. It's about reshaping our entire digital world to be more seamless, more intuitive, and a lot more human.
So how do you stay ahead of this massive curve? Well, first off, really try to understand what these autonomous agents are.
Then maybe dig a little into the tech behind them. Seriously, understanding the how makes the what makes so much more sense. Definitely keep an eye on what Meta's doing, because their strategy is probably going to set the standard for everyone else. And finally, and this is the most important piece of advice, start thinking right now about how this could impact you, personally and professionally. How could it change your job, your hobbies, your day-to-day life?
So yeah, when you put all the pieces together, Meta buying Manus AI starts to look less like a simple purchase and a whole lot more like a strategic cornerstone for their future. By bringing this tech inside, they've set themselves up not just to compete, but to potentially lead a transformation that could really redefine the future of AI as we know it.
And all of this leads to one final, pretty crucial question. We are building an AI that is more adaptable, more intuitive, and more human-like than anything we've ever created before. So, as our technology starts to become a mirror of us, we have to ask ourselves, what are we going to see when we look in that reflection?